Welcome to another episode of Go Team Score Points, a podcast for those who want to distract themselves from the news for 30 to 45 minutes and learn about the NBA instead. Each episode focuses on one NBA game from the week. An NBA beginner, Irish, that's me, and longtime NBA fan, Sam.
That's me.
Learn more about the NBA games, people, and current events. In today's show, we talk about the Oklahoma City Lakers game from April 5th or 6th. It's our best episode yet.
For sure.
Yeah.
Not really?
No. Like, it was weird because I thought it was going to be a great game. So did the announcers, by the way. But it was not great.
Bit of a letdown.
Yeah, like the Lakers just stole the show.
Yeah.
And it was like Oklahoma City didn't even really show up. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah.
Because they're like the best in the nation-ish.
Nation. I like it. World, maybe.
Almost, probably.
Yeah.
They're really good.
They're so good.
So I started wondering, like, is this the beginning of the unstoppable duo of Doncic and LeBron?
Yeah.
And I don't know if it is. Like, okay, so Doncic played a lot in this game, and he plays so well. So I want to start by saying I recognize he is a very good player. I feel like I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about reviews and stuff?
Yeah. I don't think we have any reviews.
All right. So no reviews. Too bad.
That's okay. I do have some fact-checked.
Great.
Okay, so I checked with Doug about the person we talked about last week who collects the jerseys from the people.
Right.
And I told him I thought it was a local person. He said, no, this would be someone this would be like the equipment manager or like the equipment staff, and they travel with the team.
Wow.
I found a couple of videos by like the equipment managers. So the guy for the Suns, Jay Gasper, he's been the equipment manager for 34 years.
Whoa.
Of the Suns. And there are so many YouTube videos about him like doing a behind the scenes thing. Like there's one from like 2012. He's just been doing it so long.
Yeah.
And it's pretty fun to watch. Like it answered so many questions.
Of what we were talking about.
Yes.
Great.
So like it shows him on the bus. It shows him pulling into like the Brooklyn Nets arena, wherever that is. I mean, like whatever.
Yeah.
I know where it is.
Barclays Center. Yeah, it's in Brooklyn. Yeah.
And like getting all the bags off and like showing like how they set up each player's locker in the visiting locker room. And like he was going through like who likes to wear what shoes right now. That was interesting. He's like,
He's talking about specific players.
Yeah.
Like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, this person really likes these KD shoes. And like, it's just really interesting.
That's
and then
great.
he like shows which jerseys they're wearing. He's like, this is the one we're wearing tonight. And then we're going to wear this again in 3 weeks from now at the such and such game. Like,
Yeah.
they plan all the things. So then I looked up a little bit. Okay, head equipment manager, responsible for all basketball related equipment operations, including ordering, maintaining, and distributing equipment to players and staff. Travel and logistics. He also handles travel plans, equipment transportation, and locker room setup on road trips, ensuring the team has everything they need on the road. Team contact. He also acts as the team contact for visiting teams and schedules practices and shoot-arounds, both home and away. I was like, oh, this guy has a lot to do.
Yeah. I can't picture that person also picking up the discarded warm-up shirt off the floor and folding it.
So I think this guy is like he's the head.
As a staff. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the manager, and then he's got people who work for him who
Cool.
travel with the team.
Yeah.
Wow.
Huh.
Yeah.
So Doug said, am I wrong? Doug said that like around 40 people he thought like worked for the Nets while he
Yeah,
was there.
because they all fit on the bus.
Because they all fit on the bus. Do you think that's still true? Like, I wonder how big the equipment manager staff was when he was there.
Well, I bet there's a lot of social media people now, and there weren't before.
Yeah, I gotta believe there's an extra person or two on like the medical,
Yeah,
like health. I don't know. Is there a chef?
probably.
There should be.
We need to get a chef on here. Team chef.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't think about what they eat. Wow, there's so many things to think about.
Yeah. Is there like a strength and conditioning coach that goes with it? Do they bring their like personal coaches? It seems like a lot of them have a personal shooting coach or a personal trainer, not even affiliated with the team. Do those guys travel? I don't know. So much to learn. Yeah.
So for current events, okay, everybody has been asking me about March Madness.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say about it. I have not watched any of the games. I do know that Duke lost.
Yeah.
And the Cooper flag was a little bit of a disappointment. And this is maybe a good news, bad news situation because his mom, I read an article in the New York Times where his mom was like, when they win everything, I'm going to get a tattoo. Cooper flag was like, what? Really? And she was like, yep, whatever he wants. It just was so strange for her to be like, I'm going to get a tattoo when they win it all. As if they needed incentive to like, now.
Like, okay, let's really try tonight.
This is going to be so epic.
Mrs. Flag has a tattoo on the line. Yeah. Did you hear about the game at all?
I heard that they were up by 6 and they lost.
Yeah, with like 30 seconds left.
Yeah.
It was pretty dramatic. It was a pretty exciting finish. I think he actually played a pretty good game. And then he committed kind of a questionable foul at a really bad time. I'm not sure it was a foul, but it was, watching the replay, it was like iffy, but it was a bad foul that let the other team get some points with like 20 seconds left or something like that. And then he missed a good, he had a chance to make a shot at the end to give them the lead, and he missed it was a good look, which happens sometimes. That he missed. I wonder how, like, the all-time college basketball fail was this guy Chris Webber, who played for Michigan. Remember, do you hear about the Fab Five ever? Michigan had this team that they started 5 freshmen, which is pretty uncommon in college, and they were awesome. Like, a bunch of them went to the NBA, and they were like culturally really a big deal too, like kind of ushered in like long shorts and like black ankle socks, like really like, which the fashion piece, whatever, but like culturally they mattered. It was like, I had a Michigan shirt. They were just so cool. And they went to the finals. They went to the NCAA finals, and they had the ball and were like behind by 1 with a chance to go ahead. And Chris Webber had the ball and dribbled it like up the court and then called a timeout, but they didn't have any left. And you get like a technical foul for that. And the other team got the ball and they lost that game. So that was like, there was like some controversy around that because it looked like someone on the bench was yelling, call a timeout. Like if there's a camera angle that shows a guy mouthing like timeout, timeout. It's hard to know. Chris Webber kind of turned around after and was like, but that is kind of like I feel bad saying it, but like the measuring stick for like blown opportunities in college. It was pretty sad. And this wasn't exactly that. It wasn't like Cooper Flag made some bonehead, play. He missed a shot. And then, so I don't know. I don't think it'll like be a legacy kind of thing for him. I'm not sure people will be talking about it in 20 or 30 years or whatever, looking at his career as opposed to the Chris Webber thing. But it was disappointing like awesome game. And Florida won today. So they beat the team that beat Duke by like 2. Another really, really good game.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so that's fun.
Well, Gabe was saying that the Houston team, like everyone can run a sub 6-minute mile on the team.
Oh, really? That's fun. In shape. I wonder how many teams that's true for. I bet a lot. They're in pretty good shape. And the women, UConn, won like their 12th national title or some crazy thing. 12 national championships is crazy. This Gino Auriemma guy, their coach, has just dominated women's college basketball. So good for them. Pretty exciting.
Okay, I watched the Oklahoma City Thunder Lakers game. This is a baseball series.
Okay.
They said this probably 4 times during the...
I'm not really sure what that means.
I think it means because it's like 2 games right in a row.
Okay.
Like in close succession.
Yeah.
Because there's the game on Sunday. This was a Sunday afternoon game that I watched. Then there's another game, I think, happening tomorrow morning, our time. So Tuesday night. Okay, again, people stood until the first point.
That's definitely not a thing at every arena.
Well, the last 2 games, it has been.
Wait, have you watched Oklahoma City twice? No.
I don't think I've watched them yet. Maybe I watched them. I can't remember.
Man, what a letdown.
I must have watched them because I remember I liked their jerseys and the color of the floor is the same as the University of Illinois.
That's fun.
That's fun.
Okay, I keep interrupting. So they stood until they scored.
Yeah. Okay, I don't have a lot of notes on this game, but I would like to say that KFC has a promotion that makes the most sense out of any promotion we've seen.
Yeah.
It's the KFC bucket chart. It just shows like where people scored buckets from.
Okay. They sponsor the shot chart?
Yeah.
Okay.
See?
Yeah, that
is a solid promotion.
I get it.
I have like one. It just says in Q2, very thorough review of a foul call on Doncic. Like to me, it looks like no one was doing anything wrong, but they're taking their time. Doncic seems very whiny. No illegal contact, successful challenge. I get it. He is like a magical player. He can just like chuck it and it goes in. It's like he's very, very, very skilled. He seems mopey and whiny to me.
Yeah.
And I don't get why that is necessary. Like, why do you need to whine? You're doing great.
Yeah.
What is there to complain about? You're dominating in a very competitive sport. You're like above everyone else.
Yeah.
Why are you complaining?
I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
I'd be like, yeah, bro, foul me.
Yeah.
And I'm still going to beat you.
He probably says that. I think like some people, compete better a little bit angry. Like actually play better when they're a little bit angry. I don't think it's common, but I think there are some people who...
I would like to push back and say he is not angry. He is whiny.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Maybe if I were to rephrase, it's like some people kind of thrive on feeling like the world's against them. You know what I mean? And for him, that's manifesting in like the refs are not giving me any breaks and the whatever. But it does make me wonder, like he's on stage, right? And he's like...
Yeah, you're right.
And he's still that brutal. Like annoying, right? I mean, it's hard to watch. God, grow up, dude. Was he offstage in the bowels of the Dallas Mavericks practice facility? Was he like 1,000 times worse?
Cracking it.
Just impossible.
That he's so annoying.
Such a nightmare.
That they were like, you're the best player in the NBA, and you are so annoying.
You're not worth it.
That we are shipping you to Los Angeles.
Yeah. And just a huge jerk to equipment people.
You know what? I love this theory. This is my favorite theory so far. It's just that Doncic is insufferable. His personality got him traded.
Maybe. Toxic workplace. I don't
know.
Yeah. I mean,
HR was like, listen, we've had some people file some complaints.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Like it wouldn't, I don't know anything about him as a human away from a basketball court, and it would not surprise me even a little bit, just based on his like diva-ish on the court behavior.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, listen, this is an exciting game because in quarter 4, the Lakers were so far ahead that they put in anyone they wanted.
Yeah.
They were like, okay, guys, we're going to have, you can pick whoever you want to go out. And the team was like, let's get Bronny out there. Yeah. Bronny went out and he scored a 3.
Whoa.
Okay, wait, I don't know if he scored a 3. I still wasn't really watching.
Oh,
He scored.
He scored 3.
He scored, and I swear the crowd went wild.
This was in Los Angeles.
No.
That
I rewinded it because I was like, am I hearing what I want to hear?
Yeah.
Or did people really like go? Everyone cheered for him. And I kind of feel like he is this. I know he's not an underdog. I know he's not. But I feel like everybody kind of loves to hate him. But then he scored and it's like unexpected.
Yeah.
And that's kind of fun. And I think Oklahoma City was losing so bad.
Just something to
that
cheer
people
about.
Were just like, that's something notable.
Yeah. When you, of the game that you were watching, did you feel like did Oklahoma City look like they weren't trying?
Yeah, kind of. They kept missing a lot.
It's funny that you say that, because what I heard about this game was that actually there are all kinds of there are ways to track the quality of shots, right? Not whether they go in or not, but like if you're open for a shot. And apparently Oklahoma City got like a lot more quality shot. Not a lot. They got more quality shots in this game than the Lakers did. They just didn't go in. It's what I heard. I didn't watch any of this game. So there was like a little bit of, with all the 3-pointers, the variance in 3-pointers, if you get a game where there's a cluster of made shots that counteracts a game where there's a cluster of missed shots, it can look like a team is way, way better when really they just had like a very uncharacteristically good shooting night. So I don't know. I was wondering if this is like what this game felt like to watch, but it sounds like it more just felt kind of boring to watch.
I mean, they all feel kind of boring.
Yeah.
I'm an unreliable narrator. Okay, so here were the announcers for this.
Great.
Okay, I've updated my chart.
Fun.
These announcers were Chris Fisher and Michael Cage. They got a really low score from me.
They did.
They were basic and boring. Like, they didn't say anything really interesting. In fact, I wish that I had been tallying how many times they said from downtown.
Oh.
I mean, it was like all they said. They repeated themselves a lot, which I don't think most people are like exclusively listening to the announcers like I am, and probably didn't notice. But because that's what I do, I noticed before the game starts. So I knew the score. Before the game starts, Chris says, it's a great matchup. Oh. Then on SGA, he says, that's the hardest working man in the NBA. This is in quarter 1. He says that. He says it again in quarter 4. Oh. SGA, that's the hardest working man in basketball. Shut up a little. Right. So then he says, the Lakers watching the paint dry with SGA with a paintbrush. He was all alone again. I don't know. That didn't quite. Okay, anyway, Doncic from downtown. Saying from downtown so many times. So I haven't done this in a while, but I've got some new ideas.
Yeah.
Because they're in Oklahoma. From Tornado Alley.
I love that one.
Thank you.
I really love that one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
From the prairie.
Yeah.
From the pasture.
From the pasture.
Yeah. They did say from beyond the arc, which is, I've heard that before, and good job mixing that up. Later on, they also said coast to coast, like butter and toast. Ooh. Like, just because words rhyme doesn't mean it's like a saying.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
It should also make sense.
Right.
Yeah, and it definitely didn't.
No.
Tornado Alley, that has legs.
Right?
That should be like that should be like a cheering section in the stadium.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Like one of the baskets or something should be Tornado Alley.
Oh my gosh, look at us.
It should be.
I think each team should have like their own specific, from a mile high, like instead of from downtown, each arena from the Bay Bridge,
right?
Which they did say
from the North End,
from my cousin's bar,
from Southie. You hit that one from Southie, yeah.
Okay, so I think that I'll work that in.
But Tornado Alley, it like rolls off the tongue,
and it's like really powerful and scary. It's intimidating. So beginning of quarter 2, one of them says, Shai has not attempted any free throws. My goodness. Okay.
So this is notable, actually. I heard today that
is it a my goodness level of?
You decide. So Hannah's mad because he takes so many free throws that he's like, this is the guy, right?
Yeah.
That she was talking about. This game was the first game that he's played since 2021 where he didn't attempt a free throw.
Weird.
So like almost 3 basketball seasons.
But doesn't that just mean nobody fouled him?
One of the things that makes him so great / annoying to people like Hannah is that he is really good at getting fouled. He puts defenders in positions where they have to foul him. And I'm sure she would tag on that like he flops and he makes it look like he's been hit really hard and he like jumps into people when they're off balance or whatever, which is a skill. It's an annoying skill, but it's a skill.
So that's interesting. That has to have contributed a lot to the score of the game.
Sure. Yeah.
So why do you think that happened?
Well, I don't know. The other piece of that is like the people who drive to the basket get fouled. If you're dribbling by someone, the defense has to move. They're in an awkward position to try to challenge your shot, and they're much more likely to foul you. I didn't look, but I wonder how many drives he had this game. That could be something that's like they weren't trying that hard. Might mean something like he didn't attack the basket as aggressively as he usually does. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah. And the other pieces, Lakers apparently played really good defense on him. I'd be interested to know who guarded him. It's also a skill to play really good defense without fouling.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm not the person to ask any of those questions to.
Yeah.
Even though I watched the entire game.
Well, that's an obscure one. Don't beat yourself up about that.
Hey, there's so much to learn. That's just future content is what that is. Okay, I have a question.
Okay.
In quarter 1, and probably throughout, the announcer said, as Vincent looks over to JJ Redick, trying to get the call on exactly what to do here on the offensive end. So it surprised me to think about these professional, very successful grown men checking in with their coach about what to do. Now, I understand that the coach's role is to like organize the players, but I didn't realize it happened during pro games. Does it?
Yeah.
Really?
For sure. Yeah. So I would guess that it would look like a little bit different in the pros than it would look at like August game or something like that. But for sure, they have they call them like sets. They have offensive sets, which is like a play. But rather than, I would guess that the directions would be a little bit more like, look, we're looking to create space for Luka here. Do that with this movement, and then he'll end up with the ball. And then he can make a decision. Where in August league or whatever, in like younger leagues, it might be more like make this pass, cut here, screen for this guy, give him the ball, and he's going to shoot. So like a little bit more specific directions. I think that a lot of their job, frankly, is like creative ways to make space for the good players. But for sure, they're not just kind of like going where they feel like will work. There are specific matchups they're looking for, and there are specific places that the players like to get the ball. And I think a lot of the coach's job is to like set them up to succeed in those spots.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Another big one is they call them ATOs, like after timeouts. And that's when like there'll be like a very specific drawn up play, more like what I was describing for August team that like if it's executed right should get you a layup, which those tend to be more specific than the just the general offense that they're running. Yeah.
Okay. That's it for that game. Okay, now I have a game that I made. Whose tattoos? So for this game, your job is to describe the tattoo for people who are just listening.
Okay.
And then you're going to say who you think has the tattoo.
Okay.
There's points involved.
Great. We'll see how it feels. Ready?
I'm ready.
This is a busy forearm is how I would describe this tattoo. More words.
What are the words?
Than the typical tattoo. One says patience. One says to lose patience is to lose the battle. And then one says trust the process.
Oh, trust the process.
Ooh, I wonder if that's a hint. And then it looks like either a founding father or like a Greek philosopher.
Some of these tattoos have more background information than others.
Multiple birds.
Okay, who do you think it belongs to?
Aaron Gordon, Jalen Green. Not even close. I wouldn't have got that.
Okay.
This looks like a shoulder with a big old face that says "Rest up, champ." And the person in the tattoo is like glowing. That's how rested he is. I have no idea who this is. I'm gonna guess LeBron.
No.
Anthony Davis. Sort of close. They used to be teammates. Tribute to his grandfather.
Yeah.
Cute.
So cute.
I know this, I think. Oh, maybe not.
Describe it.
This is a full back. It's like a back sleeve. There's a yin yang seems to be the central feature. But one of the holes is like a basketball. And the other one, I don't know what that is. There's a lot of hands. There's like a sort of scantily clad woman on the left, while there's like a sand hourglass on the right. Very like mystical kind of feel. Maybe a skeleton hand. This is not Tatum, is it?
No.
He's got and there's more, right? And the other one, there's a skeleton skull wearing like a sort of stereotypical headdress with like feathers coming out of it. And then in the middle, somehow there's an egg with a tree growing in it. I know Tatum has a back tattoo, but you said this is not him. Let's go with, give me a hint. Do you know?
Yeah, I do know this one.
Can you give a hint? Is this someone we've talked about on
this
podcast?
Someone we're really familiar with. Intimately familiar with. Because we've seen his underwear.
Oh, I was going to say Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon. That's a lot.
He has a lot to say. He explains all the tattoos, and it's nice because it's very, like, I think he's given it a lot of thought.
Yeah.
He had started this before, and his brother and his sister were excited for him to get tattoos. Like, I guess they always talked about it. And then each of these is like, I don't know, there's a lot of meaning to it. Like, tree has to do with like the roots and how you don't see everything like about someone. There's a lot in there, and the yin and yang. As he said, there was a lot about like being black and white and in America and being an American, and there's a lot.
So there's an arm sleeve here with with the word, like the car logo Ford, Interstate 75, Michigan, and then like a thief with money, and then a baby playing a harp, like an angel harp, really intricate rose, then an American flag with, does that say TMC?
It does.
Where the stars would go?
Yeah.
Do you know what TMC is? Is that part of the name?
The marathon continues.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And then the other, it looks like right below the TMC tattoo, there's probably a prayer, Proverbs. He that handles something, I don't know, can't see it all. And there's an eye with a cross coming out the bottom of the eye. Oh, that's a lot. Is that Brad Beal?
Maybe.
Kyle Kuzma. Darn it. Kyle Kuzma, Wizards. The TMC tattoo, often seen as a tribute to Nipsey Hussle, stands for the marathon continues and represents endurance, perseverance, and unwavering faith in achieving goals.
Yeah.
It seems like everything, the Wizards are just so bad. Everything seems like a
marathon.
Everything seems like a marathon. Yes. Or just
the marathon continues.
It all seems like a mockery of, you know what I mean? Like,
I know.
The poor Wizards. Poor people. Okay. This is another very full back tattoo. Archer, Proverbs 3:5-6. Oh, kissing a trophy, that is, and then a Jordan shoe, and then some big words across the top of the back that say God's will. Another baby angel. Is that Tatum?
I think so.
I think it's Tatum. It looks like him kissing the trophy. Yeah, Jason Tatum. Okay, it looks like Jesus with his arm around a person with a Porter jersey. MPJ, Michael Porter Jr. Nice one.
Which one is this one?
Is this real? I have no idea.
Is this real?
It can't be. Is that his body? Lord. Is that like a philosopher?
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's Zeus.
Yeah, maybe Zeus. I could believe Zeus.
This is what got me thinking about this for the game today, because I was like, because it is prominent, and this guy plays for Oklahoma City.
That is a sleeve, man.
Mm-hmm.
And like a lot of stuff, I can't really tell what's underneath that. Is that Caruso? Man, I suck. Isaiah Hartenstein.
Oh, yeah.
I should have known that because of the New York jersey. He was on their team last year.
Right.
Looks like a calf with three. How would you describe those? They're like geometric drawings. Nice.
This is the one I like.
You like all of them?
Yeah, I like this. I like it as a little set.
Yeah, I like them. That's got to be. Is this someone we know?
Yes.
Peyton Pritchard. Steph. Really?
Steph Curry and his wife has matching ones.
Nice.
There are 3 kids.
Fun. I like that.
That's really cute.
It's too permanent. I wouldn't get one.
It's too permanent. Thanks for playing the game. You won.
Pretty good.
Congratulations.
Personal best.
I know. Great.
That was cool. I like that.
I mean, it was okay.
Well, I don't know. I like stories, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's kind of like the range of tattoos from like, I don't know, I think Aaron Gordon's are like all really interesting to like Michael Porter Jr. with like Jesus with his armor.
Are we on to?
We're on to MVP already.
MVP already.
It's an obvious one. It's Bronny.
Yeah, that's
Good job, Bronny.
That is true. I'm gonna go with JJ Redick.
Great.
Good first season coaching. Luka fell in his lap. He might have like a.
Wait, this is his first season?
Yeah, he was a podcaster last year. So who knows?
Wow.
Phones are open. All you have to do is call. If the analysis you get on Go Team Score Points is what you're looking for your basketball franchise, it doesn't have to be head coach.
No, it could be equipment manager.
Fold laundry.
I think I'd be pretty good at that. Although it would be very stressful.
I wonder.
Like organize. I'm nervous when getting myself like all the way to the airport.
Yeah.
was very stressed. Like, what if?
Don't you feel like you would, you'd probably meet with the old one, the one that was leaving?
Yeah.
And he'd be like, here are the contacts at each of the airports.
Right.
Here's the hotel they like. Here's the whatever. I bet it wouldn't be that bad.
I don't know. I think it depends. You'd have Doncic being like, it is so hot on this bus. And you'd be like, well, the AC is all the way up. I'm sorry. It's summer in Chicago.
Yeah, I just
we'll be at the Bulls Stadium soon.
I got kicked out of another Red Lobster, and those biscuits are so good. And I never get any calls.
And then you have to deal with that. You have to be like, talk to the manager at the Red Lobster and be like, listen, I know we ate too many cheddar biscuits, but...
Yeah, money's not an issue.
Right.
Please, get us some more.
Yeah.
And they're like, no.
Yeah, then it's you're in a pickle.
Yeah.
Okay.
LVP.
I'm going to go with Chris Fisher and Michael Cage. Boo.
Sorry.
Those are the announcers.
They weren't even like annoying funny, just boring.
They were boring.
I wonder what they'd be like. Like, I wonder if it would be markedly different if the game had been better or the Thunder had been playing well, or...
I wonder.
I don't know. My LVP, I'm going to go with the refs because you said the review was way too long.
Yeah.
It needs to stop. It's so bad.
Right.
It's so boring and it really doesn't matter.
Right.
You know, of once every 50 reviews, a game swings on it. Maybe, you think? Outside of the last 2 minutes, even less? I don't know. It's useless. I don't like it. Most confusing part?
I think the most confusing part was like, I did not expect the Thunder to lose. I didn't expect them to lose at all. Yeah. And definitely not by as much as they did. Yeah. That was the confusing part for me.
Yeah. My confusing part was the tattoos. I did not ace that game. It's hard.
That's hard. That was a difficult game.
Yeah.
But so fun.
Be a good coffee table book.
Yeah.
Like a story opposite the photo.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
I get that. And then what'd you learn?
Well, I learned a lot about players' tattoos.
Yeah.
And I learned about the coaching, like how coaching works during the game.
Right.
Which I feel like it should be obvious that a coach is there coaching, but for some reason I didn't quite figure out how it worked like in the moment.
Yeah. In the NBA too. I mean, those guys are pros. They're pretty good at basketball. So like what would coaching,
right,
or what should coaching look like?
Right. Like they said, LeBron James has been playing for 22 years.
Yeah.
That is almost as long as I've been teaching.
Right.
So anyway, it's just like interesting to think of someone who's been like at the top for 22 years needs some coaching.
I learned how much the equipment manager does.
Oh, I did learn that too.
That job encompasses a lot.
Yeah. I also saw that in Jokic's, when he won MVP one year, he thanked the Denver equipment manager, Sparky Gonzalez.
I love that.
Yeah, I know. Sparky's also been doing it for like 30 years.
Yeah. You wouldn't quit that job. That would be a pretty awesome job.
I think so.
Right? If you just like basketball and being around basketball, like what?
Yeah. And like organizing things.
Yeah.
That would be.
If you like neat piles.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, man. Is that it?
Did we do it?
I think so.
I think we did it.
Good job.
Good job.
Okay. Thank you for listening to Go Team Score Points. Today's episode was edited by Irish. Information for this episode came from Hannah, Doug, NBA.com, and GQ. You can reach us at goteamscorepoints@gmail.com. Next week, we'll be watching the Grizzlies-Nuggets game. See you then.